Hey everybody, welcome back to HemingwayLand.com, your source for quality, affordable land in the state of New Mexico. Yet another video that I am doing about a recent acquisition that we have in Timberon in Otero County. We've been doing a bulk acquisition down there, bought a bunch of properties, been releasing them slowly on the website, and this is yet another of those properties. So let's get to it. This is reference number OTNM-0010F, as in Frank. It is in Timberon in Otero County. It is a half-acre lot, and like all of our other half-acre lots, it is not only priced at $2,500, but it has access to both power and water. Power, with this one, very close to the lot line. Water, of course, this area is serviced by the Timberon Water and Sanitation Department. So let's speak further about what all of that means by pulling this up on a map. As with all of our listing pages, come down here, click on the GPS coordinates, and we'll bring it up on the Google Maps. So the specific property sits right here off of street I can't pronounce. What is that? Hemingway Street, I'm guessing? I don't know, but we'll go with that. It sits up here in Unit 9. Unit 9 occupies the northwest portion of Timberon. For those of you who have not watched the 7 million other Timberon videos I've done, I will simply say this. Give you a little crash course on Timberon. All this area that you see right here is a master plan community. It was built up by a developer in the 70s who came in, bought up a couple thousand acres of land, chopped up everything into half-acre and one-acre lots, and then resold them. And to this person's credit, they were very conscientious about the community that they were developing out there. They did not just leave it, go somewhere else and, spend the money. Instead, they stuck around, created a property owners association, created a sense of community out here by kind of building the area up. So if you zoom in on this, what you can see is that, for instance, there's a Timberon Volunteer Fire Department out here, there's a post office, there's the Property Owners Association headquarters right here, but there's also things like a 9-hole golf course, some lakes, swimming pools out here. You've got an airstrip right here, as well as some restaurants and stables out there for horses, as well as, I'm sure, a couple other things I'm not mentioning in this video. Whatever the case, there's a sort of thriving community out here, and there's a nice sense of community as well. So it's a popular area for people who want to retire out here, number one. Number two, it's also very popular among people who just want to go camp, RV for a couple months out of the year, during the summer months, etc. And so it sees a lot of, tourism from that sort of thing. Anyway, let's get to it. So this specific property over here on street I can't pronounce is a half-acre lot. The nearest power line, so there's power up here at Wichita and Hemingway, but there's also power at this nearby house. So this is probably the nearest power line to this property. It's roughly, one lot over. So not adjacent, but very close. And of course, when you have power that close, it means it's easier to get power hooked up to the subject property, easier and cheaper. So that's one of the benefits, number one. Number two is that, as noted, this property has access to water lines within the area. The Timberon Water and Sanitation Department, curiously enough, does not service the entirety of Timberon. It only services certain areas, but this is one of these streets that they service. So if you want to come out here and get water line hooked up to a new house, you're going to be able to do that. Another nice thing here is that in Timberon, a lot of people use this area as a camping RV type of retreat. They'll come out here for X days of the year and they'll just, camp. And if you have a property that's serviced by the Timberon Water and Sanitation Department, you can camp for up to 180 days. If you don't have that, it's really only 30 days, which is why if you look over here at sort of the entrance of Timberon, you'll see a number of RV parks in the area that service people who are not able to stay longer than 30 days. If you're purchasing this lot, specifically with the purposes of camping, RVing, it's going to give you that extra advantage that you don't have to, then vacate the property after 30 days. And quite frankly, I doubt anybody's keeping track if, day 181 rolls around. Whatever the case, I just want to show you guys, if you come down here on the listing page, we have photos from the Timberon community, and then we have property-specific photos. All of these photos that we get taken are from the properties themselves, and because we had so many taken all at once recently, so many properties, we only got about 15 photos from each individual property. After I finish this video, we will also have some drone videos down here. This will help you get a better sense of what the area, the terrain, the surroundings are like, etc. The first thing I want to point out is this is what these water valves look like that are in the area. Now, as you can see here from the caption, this is not necessarily found on the property. This is found within the street that the property is on. But the point is that this is what this sort of water access looks like out here. And if you go through the photos, you can get a better sense of Number 1, these are the power lines I was talking about at the corner of Wichita and Hacinia, I guess it's pronounced. And this is what this street looks like out here. This is what the property looks like. Now, as you can see, it sits up on a bit of a rise out here. So if you're planning on coming out here and building, I think you're going to have some kind of better views than other lots out here, simply because you've got this sort of hillside to it. You've got this elevated plane that you can build on. That's going to kind of put you up a little higher than your neighbors or than a lot of people in the area. So there's that as far as building. I encourage you guys to check out the photo gallery, check out the drone videos on your free time. It'll give you some sense of all this. Now, one of the things I want to mention is that, as I've discussed in other videos, when you have a property that's under 3/4 of an acre in New Mexico, it usually becomes a little more expensive to build on because of, namely, septic. Namely, if you're going to install septic, there are different rules that the New Mexico Environmental Department has that sometimes make it prohibitively expensive. Now, in an area like this that's serviced by city utilities, that has electric and that has these water lines, that's not going to be as much of a problem for you. That being said, as we point out here on the listing page up top, there are 3 options that you generally have for any kind of property that's under 3/4 of an acre. And those are advanced treatment units, septic flow systems, or an ET bed. Now, I don't know what any of those things are, but if you would like to learn more about those things, I'm going to point you guys to some helpful links that'll show you better how you can kind of research out here. So if you're looking at this property as a place where you want to go and build a home, build some kind of summer cabin, some sort of retirement home, these are going to be very helpful links to direct questions that you might have. So one is the Timberon Development Council. Second one is the Timberon Water and Sanitation District. Third one is their combined FAQ, Frequently Asked Questions section. And another is the Otero County Electric Cooperative. Now, you click on any one of these links, it's going to bring up the respective websites that I just mentioned. And each one of these is an excellent resource for anyone who's looking to move out here and to build on property, and will help you, number 1, get a sense, if you want to call around, if you want to start asking questions, realistically speaking, practically speaking, what is it going to cost me to do X, Y, and Z? So, for instance, you can call the local utility company. You can say, what's it going to cost for me to get power hooked up on my property? There's a property 2 lots over that's got power. I'm at the corner of, I'm down the street from Wichita and whatever it's called. What is it going to take for me to get power hooked up out there? These are excellent resources to call and ask those sorts of questions. Now, more to the point, here on this Timberon website, this is very helpful. One of the things they have up here, this land for sale. They don't actually have any land for sale, but what they have is a page called New Construction, Power, and Septic. And the little thing that I referenced earlier about different types of septic systems that you can have on a property of this size is something that we lifted basically from this website. Now, what's helpful here is that the New Mexico Environmental Department that makes up these rules about septic, anytime you're going to install something like this, you need to talk to representatives out there. That being said, the NMEPA has numerous offices all throughout the state. And what's helpful here on the Timberon website, which is why I encourage you guys to, if you want to learn more about this, read through these websites, is that they give you the exact person who you'll need to contact, who services this specific area of the state, who will know the most and be the most informative about this specific area of the state. So they give you his name is Michael, here's his contact information. You can talk to him about septic installation out there. Furthermore, if you come up here to the Timberon Water and Sanitation Department, you can talk to them about what is it going to cost me exactly to get hooked up, what are the additional fees I'm going to have every year with this, etc. As I mentioned earlier, this area is part of a property owners association. Typically, when our buyers hear that, they tend to run in the opposite direction as quickly as possible because nobody wants to pay additional fees throughout the year. Thankfully, however, one of the nice things about Timberon is that their yearly fees are $30. The $30 is spent on just sort of road maintenance, keeping up the roads out there. Now, I know there's extra fees that are involved when you are hooking up to the water lines, but I think it's also something, nominal, something ticky-tack, like just $60 to hook up or something like that. But you can call, you can ask them about that. Now, one of the things I just want to mention is when you're calling around and you're asking these people about these sorts of questions to help you with your research purposes, they start asking you, what's the address of the property? Because this is a common question. The response is always, well, it's vacant land, it doesn't have an address, but it does have a legal description. And typically if you tell them it's Unit 9, block whatever, lot whatever, that usually helps them pinpoint this and helps to better answer your questions. Or you can just tell them the street that it's located on. Finally, I just want to show you guys, here in the table we have this helpful PDF. If you click on this, it's going to bring up the covenants and restrictions that govern this specific region, this region being Unit 9. Timberon has about 17 units, I believe. And Unit 9 is one of them. Now, these covenants are sort of like planning and zoning rules. You wouldn't call, let's say, Otero County Planning and Zoning and ask them about this, because Timberon has its own set of rules and restrictions. And if you read through this document, it's going to give you a sense of what those rules and restrictions are specific to a property that sits in Unit 9. Now, just so you guys know, there's nothing in here that's too strict, too onerous, too ridiculous. It's all pretty obvious good neighbor stuff, how you dispose of waste, things about not setting fire to things because you're in a heavily forested area, things like that. But nonetheless, you should acquaint yourself with these if you're looking to buy out here and to build out here. These are going to be helpful. I should just point out, this is one of the covenants that changes per each unit, and it has to do with minimum square footage for a residence. In Unit 9, the minimum square footage is 900 square feet, excuse me. So if you're going to build a tiny house, depending on what we're calling tiny these days, you may be able to do it out here because they have this minimum square footage rule that says at least 900 feet, which to me is kind of tiny, but I don't know. Anyway, the point being, read through this, and it'll give you an excellent sense of just things that you need to be aware of in this area. All right? Anyway, with all that said, if you're interested in purchasing this property, come up here on the page, click on the Buy Now button, and it will take you to a secure checkout. We're going to ask you for some information. What name do you want on the deed? Where's the Otero County Treasurer going to send the tax bill every year? And once you fill this out, on the next page, we'll ask you for your credit card and debit card information. Enter that. And once you check out on the website, within 24 hours, going to be in touch with you. We're going to email you a copy of the new deed. Once you approve it, we're going to autograph it, notarize it, mail it off to the county to be recorded. Once the county records it, they're going to forward it on to you. So from start to finish, it's about 3 weeks before that recorded deed is in your hand. That being said, as soon as you give us money, we don't care what you do. The property is yours as far as we are concerned. So please go out there, have fun, knock yourself out, do as your heart desires. If you guys have any questions about the property, leave us a comment here on the YouTube channel or send us an email at support@hemingwayland.com or give us a call, 702-919-7170. We look forward to talking with all of our customers. Anyway, with all that said, thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you in the next video.